talk about that once we first learn the Gemara. I want to cover the Gemara first. So look at the not the first page. Can I have a copy for a second? Look, actually, we did the last week. We did the first page. So take a look at the second page you have. Here you have another story. This story, towards the end, the Rebbe quotes in a Sikha and clearly learns different than some of the commentaries. So and every story you have in Gemara, there's also halacha you can derive from it. Let's take a look at, I don't have the copy of the actual original with me, so we'll have to just look into the translation. Here's a story. The Gemara relates a story about the saintly deeds of some seemingly ordinary people. Not every ordinary person is who you think that person is. Don't judge a book by its cover, as they say. And here we see unbelievable novelties about certain Jews who are in a class of their own because of what they did in life. Okay, so let's see what the Gemara says here. Rabbi Broka, you have the page? Everyone has the page here? No? Yes? No? Maybe? Yeah? Where's Rivka? You don't guard your sister? Where she goes? Rabbi Broka, that's his name. It wasn't the broker, but his name was Rabbi Broka. Chozah. Chozah is the name of the city where he came from. And he used to frequent the marketplace. Habashchiach b'shuka. He would be very often, in the street, in the marketplace, where not such great people found themselves. He would be very often. He would be hanging around that area. Which city? Debei Lepet. So he was from Chozah, and he hung around. He was in the city to make his rounds. You have it already? Last week?
No, it looks like a new one.
Oh, okay. You should have it from last week also. Okay. So again, he was visiting the city of the Shuk, the marketplace of Beit Lepet. Again, a marketplace usually find people that are not exactly on a very high madrega. And Hava Shchiach Eliyahu Gabe. Many of the Gemara sages had the privilege of a Eliyahu Hanavi conference. Shchiach means frequently found or appeared. Eliyahu Gabe, by him. Omar Le, in Aramaic, Le is like low in Hebrew. Omar Le. Once Rabbi Broka said to Eliyahu Hanavi, you're Eliyahu Hanavi, you know everything. Let me ask you a question. Ika Bahai Shuka Bar Alma de Asi? Ika, is there Bahai Shuka in this marketplace? Bar Alma de Asi. Bar means like Ben. A Ben Olam Haba. Someone who is destined for the world to come? That's a very strange question. Tell me why. Pirkei Avos. How about Pirkei Avos? Throw me a question from Pirkei Avos. 5 seconds. 3.
Which part?
Right at the beginning, before Pirkei Avos starts, there's an introduction. Now we're talking. There you go. There you go. Here. Oh, it doesn't. It says, Kol Yisrael Yeshlem Chedek Le'el Mabah. Every Jew has a Chedek Le'el Mabah. What's this question? Is there anyone in the Shuk who is Ben Le'el Mabah? Is there anyone who's not? What kind of question is that? So all the Mefarshim tackle this and they give different answers. Anyone have an answer?
No.
Nope. I have one. I cheated. I looked it up. One of the answers is yes. Everyone gets a Chedek Le'el Mabah, but not so quick. You have to go through, I don't want to say what, all kinds of interesting, a washing machine, a kafakela, which they, kafakela is? I don't want to sound like a Muslim here. Kafakela is good. Learn Tanya, right? From Tanya. It's not very comfortable. Then there's Gehenna and all that. So it happens that everyone gets the Chedek eventually. He was asking, is there someone who is ready to go to the Mabah without any need of any kind of refinery? No need for zichuch. His neshama is ready to take on the Mabah. That's what he was asking. Another answer, yes, it's true that right now this person is has a certain portion in the next world, but can you be guaranteed that you won't lose your Mabah? People have free choice, and there are people who have lost their Mabah. Certain things, if a person causes other people to sin. If you don't believe in Chiyas HaMesim, there's a whole list of people who will not get Olam Haba. And usually Hashem does not trust anybody, even the Avos, until they pass away. Hashem does not associate his name with them. Hashem does not say, I am the God of Avram while Avram is alive. Yitzchak is different because he was blind and it was like, as if he was dead, as if he died. But otherwise, Hashem does not associate his name on people that are still alive, no matter how righteous they are. But there's one exception. And maybe this is hard to say. If you, as we'll see here, cause many, many Jews to go onto the right pathway, you're mezakeh, the rabbim, ein chet ba'al yadei, Pirkei Avos. You will never, ever have any chet. Hashem will guard you and protect you from sin. So you're destined that how you are now will remain forever. There's a third answer. What's the third answer? It says ben olam haba. Not, of course, every yid has a chelik olam haba. Kol Yisrael yesh lo chelik, a portion. But we don't call every Jew a ben olam haba. A ben olam haba means that you're not just welcome into the club. You're the CEO. You're the boss. You're like the owner of the club. In other words, like you have a business, you have people that are partners in a business, and you say, how about so-and-so who works in this business? And how about the person who works in this business? I don't know who you're talking about. There are many people working in business. But if there's someone who is like the owner of the business, not just a share partner, he's like the one who found the business, and you say plainly, the person of this business, you know who we're talking about. These people are not just going to get a chelik. These people are like children, ben olam haba. They belong in the family. You don't have to work hard. All the others have to go through different stages, and it's not guaranteed. But this person, just like a child inherits from his father without any work, the child does not have to get any special zechutim to be yoresh from his abba, from his father or mother. The same is true with this person over here, as we'll soon see. He was asking, Rabbi Broka was asking Eliyahu Hanavi, is there someone who is an Olam Haba type of Jew? He belongs there, like a child belongs in the family. But not as a stranger who gets his share, but someone who is a Ben Olam Haba. There's another answer, another interesting. He was asking, is there anyone who lives his life in this world, never sad, always accepting whatever Hashem says, is Gamzul L'Toiva, everything is wonderful, there's no, because Olam Haba is all about good without any bad. This world, you might enjoy something, you bought yourself a nice outfit, but it costly, so you feel, you get tired of that outfit, you want another outfit, or it's food, or whatever it is. Nothing is purely good in this world. The next world, Olam Haba, it's all bliss, and you can never get tired of it. You can have it on and on and on. Normally they say, tainug timidi ain't a tainug. A constant pleasure is not pleasurable anymore. You get boring, but not the pleasure of Olam Haba. But someone who's asking, there's someone living his life in this world who's always happy. There's no tinge of sadness, ever. Eliyahu Hanavi said, no. Let's see now inside. Amalei, so he says back to him, look, good question, but no, there's nobody here. Ada hachi v'hachi. That's the next top of the next column, the right column on this page 222a. In the meantime, Chazal Lahahu Gavra, he saw a certain man. Gavra is a man. Chazal, he saw, like Shabbos Chazon. The Hava Misayim, the Hava Sayim, who was tying or wearing Misane Uchme, black shoes. Some say it was actually the shoelaces that were black. And in those days, it was customary for the non-Jewish world to wear black shoelaces on their shoes. Jews wore white shoelaces. Some say actually uchmi does not mean black, it means red, dark red. It was a style for the non-Jewish world to dress in a certain way. And this fellow was dressed like a guy. His style was mamish, not Jewish. And he had no tzitzis on the corners of his garment. Tchilta actually means tcheles, the blue strand, which we don't have today. But it refers to the tzitzis in general. He was not wearing tzitzis. It was clear, because in those days they wore their tzitzis out. And this person had no tzitzis on his garment. And guess what Eliyahu Hanavi told him? See this person? This is the person you're looking for. This is the person. No tzitzis. Strange. And what else? He was dressed like a goy. He had a beard, because they all had beards in those days. And they also, a lot of hipsters have beards. On Malay, so Eliyahu Hanavi says to Rabbi Broka, hi, Bar Alma de Asi. In answer to your question, who is a Bar Alma de Asi? It's this guy right here. This person is destined for the world to come. He will get there straight. Doesn't need to go through any kind of stages to get there. Guaranteed. He belongs there. He fits. Rahat Basrei. Rabbi Broka ran after him. Rahat in Aramaic means to run. Run. Rahat. Rahat Basrei. He ran. Basrei means like Basra, after him. Omar Lay, and he said to him, he finally caught up with him. So this guy was trying to avoid him. He said to the man, what do you do? Well, what do you do? Can you tell me what you're all about? Omar Lay, he replied, Zil, please, Zil, go away. Ha'itna today. I don't have time to talk to you. V'ta, and come l'machar tomorrow. Come back tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll tell you, I'll have more time. L'machar, tomorrow came about. The next day, Rabbi Broka returned and said to him, again, what do you do? My ovadach, what do you exactly you do in life? On Malay, Zandukana Ana. I am a jail guard. I'm a guard of the jail. There are many Jews over there. There are men and there are women that are imprisoned, incarcerated. The Asarna Gavre Lechud Benosha Lechud. I make sure when I incarcerate the men separately, I make sure the men are separately situated and the women separately on different sides of the jail so they don't mingle. And not only that, Varamina Puriyoi Bein Hani Lahani. I place my bed between Puriye, sounds like Purim, but Puriye means bed. I place my bed between these, the men, and those, the women, so that they don't get any ideas of mingling. So that they should not come to do that which is forbidden. Ki chazina bas Yisrael, when I see that there's a Jewish girl, an attractive Jewish woman, the Yahavi Nachrim Alog Ainayu, where the other prisoners, non-Jews, Gentile or Gentile wardens, not prisoners. I see the Gentile wardens are focusing their attention on her, and they're interested in her, and she's in danger. Masarna Nafshoi, I risk my life to save her. I fight them and I save her. Yom Echad, one day, there was a Havas Nara Mu'urasa Gaban. There was a betrothed, a married Jewish girl with us among the prisoners. The Yahavi Ba Nachrim Einayu, whom the Gentiles were focusing their attention and looking at her, set an eye on her. Shakli Durdayo de Chamra. I took the lees of red wine, Vishadoyle Vishipula, and I spilled the wine, the red wine, on her skirt to make it appear bloodstained. The Amri, and I said to them, I wouldn't do it if I were you. She is having her period. After discovering that the man was indeed a worthy person, Rabbi Broka sought an explanation for his unconventional dress. Why do you dress this way? Amalei, my taima les lachuti. Why do you not have any tzitzis on your clothes if you're such a big, special person? And Baramis Misani Uchmi, why do you wear black shoes? Are you not religious? Amalei said to the Rabbi Broka, I'll tell you why. Ayilna benafikna beni nachrim. I have a heter not to wear tzitzis. I come and go among the Gentiles. I therefore do not wear tzitzis. Now, it doesn't mean that he was wearing a four-cornered beged without tzitzis. That you're not allowed to do. That would be a violation. He rounded off the corners of his beged. If you round off the four corners of your talis, or whatever you're wearing, a shirt that has four corners, you'd have to put tzitzis on those four corners, even though it's not meant, it's a regular shirt. But he rounded off the corners so he wouldn't be obligated. So he's not violating the mitzvah of tzitzis. You know that. You don't have four corners. You don't wear a four-corner garment. If I don't put on any tzitzis at all, I have no four-corner garment. I'm not violating anything. However, I'm missing out on the privilege of wearing tzitzis. So it says, even if you don't have, make yourself obligated. That's what the halacha says. And it says the person who does not wear tzitzis because he circumvents by purposely wearing something that's not four-cornered. It says you can't get punished from Hashem, but if Hashem is anyway angry, he'll also punish you as well for, sounds very Mosaic, for not wearing tzitzis. So even though there's no official violation, but it's not good. So he wasn't violating the law, but he still wasn't wearing tzitzis. And the question is, why not? And he told him the following. The reason why I don't wear tzitzis is because I come and go amongst Gentiles. I therefore do not wear tzitzis or the customary Jewish footwear because I have to hide my identity. The Jews will not, the Goyim will not know that I am a Jew. If they know I'm a Jew, I won't be able to succeed in doing what I'm doing. And therefore, I want to tell you furthermore, not only am I able to accomplish what I accomplished, as we mentioned above, but furthermore, I do this so that whenever they make a decree that is detrimental to Jews, I'm the first one to find out. I eavesdrop on all their plans. And I inform the rabbis immediately. And they pray for divine mercy and annul their decrees. The rabbis have power, but I have to let them know. So I am always there, always rushing and making sure I get the information of what kind of new decree against the Jews there might be, so I can inform the rabbis to pray. So he asked him, after discovering the man was indeed a worthy person, Rabbi Broka sought an explanation. Why was he not wearing tzitzis? My time, I skipped before. I went back to the previous Gemara. My time, less flachuti. Why do you not have tzitzis on your clothing? And why do you wear non-Jewish, wearing? Why do you wear the black loose laces? And why do you wear black shoes? Or black shoes? Today would be totally different. He said to Rabbi Broka, one second. I just said this, right? Sorry, I'm getting mixed up. Let's go to the last one. I just said it. I'm repeating myself. Let's go to the last line. Rabbi Broka continued questioning the man's behavior. My time, why is it? I understand why you don't wear tzitzis and why you dress like a non-Jew. Fine. My time, when I asked you the first day, yesterday, what you do, you didn't want to answer me. And you told me, come tomorrow. What was the reason for your rush? What were you busy with? Turn to the next page. On the next page, it says, on page 22A2. Amalei, you're asking, why did I tell you come back tomorrow? Why was I busy? Yeah, at that moment, they had just issued a decree against the Jews. I just found out that a decree was issued against the Jewish people, and I'm rushing to the rabbis. I said, I don't have time to talk with you. Let me first go and inform the rabbis, so that they may pray for divine mercy concerning this matter. I didn't have time to talk. Every moment is precious. Therefore, I did not have time to converse with you. So that's the end of this story. Now we have another story. Also, Hanach Trey. In the meantime, these two others came by the marketplace. Two other people. They didn't look very holy. Also, Eliyahu came again and said to Rabbi Broka, these also, you have another two people that are also guaranteed Elam Haba. Hanach Nami, these two people you see are destined for the world to come. Rabbi Broka again ran up to them. Rabbi Broka also Gabayu, Amalahu, Mayabarak. What do you do for a living? Amrulay, they said to him, Inshi Baduchi Hanan, we are comedians. And Vavatchinon Asivi, and we go to cheer up those who are depressed. Inami, or not in addition to that, besides cheering up people, whenever we see two people involved in a quarrel, tigra means a quarrel, bahadayu amongst them, tarchinan vavdinan lahu shlama. We strive hard to make peace between them, and we are peace lovers. We make people happy. We're good comedians, clean. Don't use any foul thing. That's not kosher. It's all kosher, and these people are stimulated in their avodas Hashem. Thanks to us, they're able to, be happy themselves. And when you make a Jew happy, you make the Shekhinah happy. Make Hashem happy is what it says. Hashem does not like to see sad Jews. So although there's a lot of things that we go and have in life that make it difficult to be happy, but if you break through those difficulties and you have this charge of accepting everything b'simcha, it breaks through barriers on high. And the Eibishter also responds he gets besimcha, and it says when a person is besimcha, you break through boundaries. Imagine if Hashem breaks through his boundaries, Kavayachol. He has rules. He breaks all his rules, and even if we plan to keep us in Galus for another day, it's over. We get out of Galus faster. So when you go ahead and you bring simcha amongst other Yidden, you're special. The Rebbe in the Sikha talks about the previous Rebbe's name. I have a personal connection with that name, Yosef Yitzchak. And he said Yosef is the idea of transforming other Jews into people that are alien to Judaism, turn them into children. Acher ben. Yosef Hashem li ben Acher, but some aesthetic always translated that there's a talent that Yosef had to take even people that are very far from Judaism, they're Acher, they're someone else. Judaism is not their cup of tea, and to turn them into a ben, like we said here, ben Olam Haba. But then there's Yitzchak. Yitzchak is the Jew that is always making everyone happy. Yosef is the one who transforms the person. Yeah. And Yitzchak is a name which corresponds to, why was Yitzchak called Yitzchak? Kol HaShemeya Yitzchakli. Whoever hears my story, that I at the age of 90 have given birth, will laugh. Not laugh at me, be happy. Joy is my simcha. And the truth was, everyone, she nursed. Their babies were also nursed by Sarah. So this day was a happy day for everyone. So Yitzchak has to do with causing others to be happy. Who are the others? Not people on a high madrega, simple people that find themselves in the market the whole time. Marketplace people. People that are far from Judaism. They only hear, they don't see. Kol HaShemeya. Even non-Jews. To make people happy is an incredible mitzvah. So if a person says a joke, there are people that are very, very down because of their physical well-being. They're sick in the hospital, and you go there to cheer them up. It's an unbelievable mitzvah to cheer people. And of course, you have to know that the mental way a person takes his sickness mentally can affect on his physical, also have an impact on his physical life too. They say that about Yenamachla, those that have the famous seasickness, that if they're positive about it, it could save their lives. And if they're negative, it can go very, very fast, God forbid. So it's very important to have a positive attitude and be a happy person and not to worry when you are really, really sick. It's not easy, but it's important. It's extremely important. And the Rebbe says here we learn the importance of cheering up a person. It doesn't say they were big Torah scholars. So other Mefarshim say they were Torah scholars. They were Torah scholars, and they were making people learn, giving them answers to all their questions. The Rebbe refutes that because it's clearly not the case. These are regular people, and they're not making Torah scholars happy who have now answers to their questions. They weren't. That wasn't that. They were perfect comedians. Simple as that. And making people happy. Simple people, maybe even non-Jews. That's what gives them the title Ben Olam Haba. Famous Gemara. The Rebbe was saying, and people are going to say, where did you get this idea from? Yitzchak has to do with that, making people happy. The Gemara Masechta Taanis, Daf Chof Beis. The Gemara we just learned right now. The Gemara Rebbe quotes. So don't tell me what I'm saying is only a Chassidish vertical. It's it's something from Chassidus or it's a Gemara, and everyone accepts Gemara. I want to share with you what I talked about on Tuesday. There's also another Gemara we're going to learn next week. Maybe we have. Next week, is there a winter thing going on? I'm not sure what to say there is, but next week we plan to learn another Gemara about famous Gemara of Elizabeth of Shimon, who meets a guy in the street and says, "Wow, you're ugly." And the guy says, "Are all the people in your city so ugly?" He was he learned a tremendous amount of Torah that day, and he felt like, I looked down at this person who he saw was extremely not attractive looking. And he said to him, "You are so ugly." And the other guy says, "Well, I guess tell God, the one who created me, that he creates ugly people. Don't complain to him, don't complain to me." And Rabbi Shimon says, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I want to apologize." Doesn't accept his apology right away. Later on, the story goes that he did apologize to him. It's a whole long story, and there's a whole speech from the Rebbe explaining this Gemara, and we'll leave that for next week. For now, I want to go into something I mentioned on Tuesday, but not fully. Talk about the fast day, where it says, "Be'etzem hayom hazon," this very day, you are to Melech Babel lay siege. We explained that it says Samach Melech Babel. Melech Babel actually was giving us a supporting hand. He was actually helping us unintentionally. Why? Because when you're locked in Yerushalayim, when all the Jews are ba'achdus in the city of Yerushalayim, it only helps to prevent the Golus in the first place. Achdus is the best medicine to cure Golus. And Hashem was waiting 2.5 years. No, you're in Yerushalayim. You're locked here for a reason. Do tshuva. You're all together. It's a holy city, conducive to Yerushalayim. Yerushalayim means Yerushalayim, conducive to holiness and to brotherly love. And it didn't work. That we spoke about on Tuesday. But I also want to mention the idea that it says Be'etzem hayom hazeh. Where else in Chumash? Where's the first time in Chumash where it says Be'etzem hayom hazeh?
In Shemot, when we go out of the time.
Not the first time.
It's not the first time?
No.
So when was the first time?
I'm asking you. Yes, you do. How about building of Noach? Teves Noach. Be'etzem hayom hazeh, ba Noach. Then we have when Avraham Avinu had his circumcision, his bris. And then we have with going out of Mitzrayim. And then we also have on Yom Kippur. So 4 places. Maybe it might be more. 4 places in Chumash where it says the Etzem hayom hazeh. Each one of those 4 places, it's a shift, a major transition in history. Noah, a new world. After the Mabul, the world was a brand new world. Created a world, destroyed the world, and rebuilt a new world, starting from Noah. A shift in history. No question about that. Also, it was 40 days, like 40 like a mikvah. Hashem cleansed the world, so on and so forth. Avraham Avinu, when he went through circumcision, through a bris, that's when he became officially the first Jew, the father of all Judaism. So Judaism, you could say, began after the bris of Avraham Avinu. Also another shift, transition. Thirdly, with Mitzrayim. After we were redeemed from Egypt, we can never be ever slaves again. Never will a Jew, it's gone. We will never ever revert back to being enslaved in the same way we were then. But then we were so enmeshed and so we were, the word I'm using, there's a word in English, subsumed in the klipa of Mitzrayim. We were like a baby inside its mother's womb. We couldn't express ourselves. Even the pintel yid couldn't be expressed. Going out of Mitzrayim gave us the freedom that we became a nation. No matter how much we suffer, we're still a free people. In other words, we're not part of another nation, not inside another nation. We're not like a baby inside its mother's womb. We are free. We have an independence. And nothing can stop us. We are free to express ourselves. The neshama was never put into Golus. That all changed after Yetziat Mitzrayim. On the essence of this day, something essentially happened. An essential change, a shift in life. A metamorphosis, a changeover. Then we have the 4th thing. In Kippur. In Kippur, Hashem forgave the Jewish people for the sin of the Egel. And then we have the holiday of Kippur where we become new people. After Yom Kippur, you're a new person. You're clean, have a clean slate. And the same thing is true with Asara B'Teves. It was the beginning, and yet. Anyone get ever scam likely calls?
Yeah, me.
That's all I get.
Me too.
I don't know why I say likely. It's not likely. It's certainly.
Why we can't block it ourselves? Listen.
We're living in the crazy generation of scammers. Now, what was I going to say? So Asara B'Teves was the beginning, but in this beginning, it had already laid the groundwork for Mashiach. So although it was the beginning of Golus, but Hashem already, historically, in the Nevuah, a different pasuk in Yecheskel, actually said, you see this Barzel, this Kir Barzel, iron wall, referring to Golus, but he was also referring to the 3rd Beis Hamikdash. It's known that the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd Beis Hamikdash, so the 1st Beis Hamikdash corresponds to Zahav, to gold. The 2nd to Kesef, and the Golus, after where we're waiting, we're asking for Mashiach, is Nechoshes. Nechoshes is Begimatria, Nachosh, Begimatria Mashiach. But the 3rd Beis Hamikdash, unlike the first 2, will actually have iron, because iron is something that kills. You're not allowed to use any iron in the Beis Hamikdash. You have to do it outside. You can't bring any iron in the Beis Hamikdash because it shortens man's life. And the Mizbeach lengthens a person's life. It's atonement. But that will be eradicated. When Mashiach will come, death will be eradicated. So Barzel will be actually used in the building of the third Beis Hamikdash. And the Rebbe explains, interesting, how Zahav, in the first Beis Hamikdash, everything was, we had no thoughts that there'll ever be a Churban. It looked so, everything was so wonderful. It's like a person who gives tzedakah, Zahav, Zeh Hanotein Bari. A person who's healthy and gives tzedakah, he's not desperate, that's a real tzedakah giver. The first Beis Hamikdash, we had nothing worrying us. There was no worries. So if you could serve Hashem and do everything right, then you deserve a lot of credit. The second Beis Hamikdash, we already had issues that we already foresaw what's going on. Things were not going well, especially at the end of the tenure of the second Beis Hamikdash. Kesef stands for Sakonas Pachad. What's the Chaf? The Chaf is. It's talking about a person who's worried about the future. So the Samach Pei of Kesef is Sakonat Pachad. You're in danger. You're worrying about something dangerous. And therefore you give tzedakah. Because you're worried. You're desperate. And the Choshesh is referring to a person who's already sick. What's the Choshesh? The Shin Tov is Sha'omet Nu. Nuncha stands for a sick person. I remember the office. Yeah. Nuncha stands for a person who's already sick, and he says, please give tzedakah. I don't remember the office of teves of Nuncha. Oh? Something like that, but it's not, I would remember if it would be the right one, I would remember it. But it's a person who's already sick, not worried about a sickness, he's already sick. And Barzel is the chiddush of the third Beis Hamikdash. So when Hashem showed Yecheskel the Barzel, the iron wall, although it sounded like it's a Golos wall, it was actually saying that you have the koyach right now. If you will do tshuva, if the Jews will take a lesson from being locked into Yerushalayim for 2.5 years, you can have the third Beis Hamikdash. Now from the Seder, the parsha of the week. I want to mention on the parsha of the week. Ephraim and Menashe. Whenever you give a person a bracha, you say, you should be like Ephraim and Menashe. Yisimcha Elokim ki Ephraim and Menashe. The blessings that we all give each other is, you should only be like Ephraim and Menashe. Two wonderful brothers. Were they the holiest people? How about Moshe and Aaron? Who's greater, Moshe and Aaron or Ephraim and Menashe? Moshe and Aaron, obviously. So why do we pick Ephraim and Menashe? So my brother has in his book over here, he has better English than I have. So I'm going to read something that he says here. It's quite fascinating. I mean, it's very, very. I mean, it's to the side.
I have a question. What it means Kir Barzel?
What is what?
Kir wall Barzel. Kir Barzel.
The iron wall.
But why? What the Rabbi מתכוון שאומר את זה?
Okay, it's a whole long story. Maybe another class for that. Because there's Barzel in Klippa, there's Barzel in Kedusha. You know what Barzel in Klippa is? Beis Reish stands for Bila Rachel Zilpa Leah.
That's in Kedusha.
Yes, but it's also in Klippa. And Klippa takes things that are priorities. What's real, what's emes, is tafel. What's tafel, that's real. Klippa has everything backwards. So that's but then there's another level where the Mekabel, just like it says, women will be superior to men. Now it looks different. It's a male dominant, world. In the future, it'll be women that will have their shayrish will be revealed. So the Mekabel will be higher than the Mashpia. In Mekabel itself, there's two levels. There's the Mekabel and Mekabel Mea Mekabel. There's Rachel and there's Bila. So everything goes backwards. The fact that the lower Mekabel is higher, the higher Mekabel is a Gilui of Mashiach. But it's a long story. I can't do justice to that. Let me just go to Ephraim and Menashe. What did Yaakov do to Ephraim and Menashe? He gave Ephraim, the younger brother, greater bracha than the older brother. Wouldn't that create jealousy again? Didn't he learn a lesson? Not only that, jealousy between Ephraim and Menashe, but jealousy between Yosef and his brothers. Yosef's children are like part of the 12 tribes. All the other Shvatim did not have that schus. So he's creating jealousy between Ephraim and Menashe and between Yosef and his brothers. We suffered enough from that. But Yaakov understood that the way to bring Mashiach, and right before he talks about gather, I want to tell you when Mashiach will come, right before that, he is so happy to see a dynamic, a reversal of the dynamic of envy, of discord, of rivalry, jealousy, and now just the opposite. He gave the younger one a bracha, and there's no trifle, there's nothing, no envy, no nothing. They love each other still. And when Yosef got the schus of having his children being part of the family, nobody else got that. No jealousy. Oh, Yaakov foresaw that now we have the progenitors, we have the leaders. This will be what we need to bring Mashiach. Achdus. The only problem was that the world wasn't ready. It's one, yes, Joseph's children fixed it, but we need more than one generation. So that he wasn't. Yaakov saw the future, but he saw the future in the present. And he saw, but the world wasn't ready for his vision. But he was very, very happy with Ephraim and Manasseh reversing the Yosef and his brothers dynamic. So here's what we say. Even if you went through, you have your brothers and you have reasons to have rivalry and maybe envy and jealousy and discord and not getting along with each other, when that's reversed, Moshe and Aaron never fought. Moshe and Aaron always loved each other. But when you have an Ephraim and Manasseh who are reversing, doing just the opposite of the issue that took place before, that's what we want from our children. That in spite of having difficulties and trials and tribulations, which can cause reasons for being envious, it should be completely eradicated. On the contrary, we should act like, it should make us feel happy for our brother. It's not easy. It's very hard when your competitor gets close to you and you're happy for him or her. Being happy that your competitor gets more than you, because that he's happy, so I'm happy, or he's happy, I'm happy. Wow. That's the specialty of Ephraim and Manasseh. They broke through. They were living in this whole generation of Yosef and the brothers, and they broke through that. This is the simcha of a father when he sees children reversing, having the strength to go back and fixing all the damage that was done in the previous generation. This is the ultimate wish for every father, and this is the power that brings Mashiach. Because natural friendliness is one thing, but unnatural, supernatural friendliness is special. So Ephraim and Manasseh broke the ice and had to pierce through a darkness, and they succeeded. And Yaakov was extremely happy. He was so happy. He said, okay, now I want to tell you the secret of Mashiach. He felt that he wasn't going to tell them in 5,782 Mashiach was going to come. He was going to tell them that Mashiach is right here on the horizon. That was what he was going to tell them. He wasn't going to tell them, okay, want to let you know that not until, that's not going to make them very happy. And obviously it would be downtrodden. What would be the purpose of telling them that? So obviously what he meant was, I have the key. Now that you've done what you've done, Mashiach is on the horizon. So he's very close. And he would have given them the exact date based on if the generation would have maintained the Ephraim and Manasseh relationship, this would have been the end.
That's why the kings that will happen last year with Rabbi Lazar is so important. The king that's lasted 36
Which kings?
On Zoom, there was
Zoom.
a big Zoom.
Zoom
And
was like
everybody started to speak together. That was very important.
Yeah, I mean, one of the good things that came out from COVID is that Zoom, which includes a lot of people that wouldn't be able to, be part of anything. Connected the whole world. The whole world was infected by this COVID, and the entire world is now enjoying Zoom things thanks to COVID. Anyone have any questions? I never finished a class early before. Wow, feels weird. Any questions? I can see how everyone has questions, but they don't want to.
There was one thing that was striking me. I'm not used to the Gemara, but then we had all this story you were saying, and all of a sudden I see what's coming after that, and the Gemara has nothing to do with what came before.
Okay.
Why does it always jump like that?
This is, the reason why you have questions is because you didn't see what was before, the page before. If you see the page before, you don't understand.
The page before I saw, but
No, a page before the page. Yeah. There's a lot of interesting Gemara that I'd like to go through it because every Gemara, even stories, have halacha in them. Halacha derived. Halacha we learn you're allowed to not wear tzitzis, especially if you have a chance to help Jews out, save Jews. You're allowed to dress like goyim, and that's a halacha. It's not so simple. There's a lot to talk about. And so that's today's class. Next week we'll talk about the famous Gemara with "You're so ugly." How the Rebbe understands that Gemara. Have a wonderful Shabbos. What happened? What happened? She's attacking you? Maya, you're being attacked? You're being attacked? Are you being attacked? Almost. Okay. I want to make sure everyone's here. Before you leave, wait a second then.